Hello, innovators, entrepreneurs, and risk takers. Welcome to another episode of Web3 with Sam Kamani podcast. And today I have a special treat for you. I am interviewing Andrei from DWF Labs and Falcon Finance. Now, DWF Labs have a very well established name, and he is an extremely experienced entrepreneur in and a builder in the Web3 space. So today he's here to share everything about Falcon Finance, what they are building at Falcon Finance, what problems they are solving, as well as everything that is happening in the space of stable coins. He shares all his insights and how he sees the industry moving ahead stable coins. And so if you are interested in stable coins and getting some in-depth knowledge about it, then this episode is for you. And as always, nothing that we talk about on this podcast episode should be taken as investment advice. And always, please share and subscribe. With all that out of the way, let's get into it. Andrei,
Okay.
welcome to the show. It's an absolute honor and a pleasure to be interviewing you today. And really looking forward to this conversation because I've known actually about you because of DW Labs. And as earlier we were talking, I go to lots of different events. I see DW Labs. They are everywhere. Amazing branding, amazing team. But first, my first question is to get started is how did you get involved in all things crypto and blockchain and Web3?
Hey, Sam, my pleasure to be here today and to have this conversation. And replying to your question, it was like after one of my friend's brother, he used to live in London, and he told us in 2015 that there is Ethereum and we need to try to build our own mining farm of it. And so we built something very small, like 9 GPUs. It's even not a farm, it is mining machine. And we started Ethereum mining when ETH price was around $5-7. And so then in 2017, ETH exploded to 350 in May 2017. Never expected of it. I joined the crypto space because I felt that there was a lot of opportunity because it's an emerging market and it will grow. There is a future, right? Because at least from financial perspective, a lot of investment opportunities means a lot of people will come, right? And now I can say that it was the right decision, maybe one of the most important decisions in my life.
That's amazing. When did you start with DWF Labs?
DWF had been established in 2018 in Switzerland by my partners. They are quant traders and they
Yeah.
built this company to do high frequency trade. At that time, I used to be the CEO of Hobby in CIS region, Hobby Russia. And I cooperated with the guys to help them to be onboarded on Hobby with very good conditions. I
Yeah.
helped them and we became friends. My responsibility was to help with exchanges. Their responsibility was to just do trading. And this cooperation was very efficient. So I helped them to be onboarded on many exchanges, especially Chinese ones, and they scaled trading very rapidly and profitably. And so several years ago in 2022, we decided to merge our efforts. And so I became to be a part of the WF equal partner, right? But
Yes.
I was thinking my value was not that big in long term because I could onboard exchanges in the past, but most of the exchanges were already onboarded and DWF are very known among institutional departments on top exchanges. And it
Yeah.
was a very simple onboard. And my partners and I, we started thinking what else we could do. And that's how DWF Labs has been created because we decided to move forward with investments and market making business. That's relied more on BD efforts than on purely trading experience and knowledge. And that's how DWF Labs created.
Fantastic. Coming back to Falcon Finance, can
Yeah.
you tell me a bit about, first of all, what problems do you solve at Falcon Finance?
It's like not a problem. We
Yeah.
feel that there is a need for all among users and people and companies, not only in crypto, but also in traditional finance, to have solutions with a sustainable yield. And our experience with market making deals, especially when we hedge large amounts of coins on relative market, showed us that basis trading is profitable and it can generate very good profit. And on the other hand, when we have these call options and liquidation prices, this form of operations is also very profitable. I started thinking that what else we could do on the market to cover more liquid venues. And that's how Falcon Finance has been invented in summer 2024. And then my partners and I, we were thinking how to grow it. What would be our market positioning, our go-to-market strategy, right? And early this year, in February, we launched Falcon Finance as a synthetic yield-bearing stablecoin. But during this last month, we identified ourselves that just a stablecoin, synthetic dollar, is quite good, but we need to grow broader from this definition, and we push it like this right now, is a collateralization platform, which means that we can take any liquid asset and price it in dollar value and mint synthetic dollars against this value. That's how Falcon Finance established. What we do, we allow users to bring any asset, mint US dollars for liquidity or for yield, and when they want, they can exit with any asset. This is our mission, and this is our vision of the pain points that we solve.
Fantastic. I would love to understand this, and also I'm sure for the audience as well. Can you give it in an example? So say what type of an asset is someone bringing in? Is it already a digital asset, RWA? How would the whole thing work?
Already we work with digital assets, we work with crypto, and
Yes.
we already started working with just a few LWA assets, but we will increase this amount and add fiat channels very soon. But let's say crypto, right? For
Yes.
example, you can enter with BTC, decide your price when you want to sell BTC. It can be 10x, whatever price. Then you can set liquidation level when you feel that BTC will never go to, and then we will price this position with a dollar value. Let's say you put BTC at 100,000, let's say market price at 100,000, just for simplicity. Then you say, hey, I would like to have liquidation price at 50,000.
Yeah.
Because you believe that BTC will never touch it. And you want to have sell price at, let's say, 150,000, because you feel that 150 is a good price to sell and cash your BTC out. Just an example. Then we give you something like 45K because we have some buffer in case of liquidation and liquidation price here. And while BTC is in the range, you have yield in average 10% to your position. And if BTC is in the range, you have yield. And anytime you can withdraw your BTC by returning this Falcon USD. You have yield on your asset. You make your not yield bearing asset. And in case of BTC price goes up, you have cash. You have 150 for your BTC. If price goes down, you have cash, and you can go to the market and buy BTC even if you liquidated your BTC. This is a very win-win situation for each other.
It does sound really good. Where does the yield come from in this example?
In this example, yield comes from basis trading, of course, because we hedge a part of the position, from midterm trading, because we have our prediction models and we utilize this strike price and the liquidation price as our risk limits. And also we use BTC as a margin for operations with the other portfolio that we have inside Falcon, let's say USDT, etc., to do cross-exchange arbitrage, sex DEX arbitrage, etc. Basically, we apply the following strategies. We do basis trading for a part of the inventory. We do arbitrage for the inventory. Let's say sell BTC here and buy BTC here. It is not super profitable, but it generates some money. And then we also use this BTC for volatility trading. And fourth thing, we can negotiate with our portfolio companies when we use this BTC staked asset, for example, to farm some native tokens of some product just to increase our profitability, because, for example, we may not need to use all BTC for trading. We can park for trading, let's say half, and another half stake somewhere to have some native tokens, right? It's how it works.
Kind of trading income in a way. And that's where the experience of DWF, the years of experience and
exactly
billions and billions of dollars traded experience as a market maker and all that comes in really useful. It makes so much sense. I also read about Falcon calls itself a universal collateralization infrastructure. What does that exactly mean?
As I said, that means that we can collateralize and price almost any liquid asset. I gave you an example with BTC, right? But our ultimate goal is when you have, for example, I don't know, Tesla stocks or S&P 500, for example, right? And then you use this asset to mean, let's say, set same rules like liquidation and strike price. But in case if you believe that you don't want to have exposure to TradeFi, but want to have BTC, you can exit Falcon with BTC.
Yeah.
That's our idea, that you have some assets, but you don't need to sell them now. You don't need cash, for example.
Yes.
Then you go to you park these assets, you have yield on your assets, which is larger than the yield that you can get from your assets directly. For example, these stock dividends, I don't know, 2% a year, but we can give you, let's say, 8% a year because we can trade the stock and we can do some other forms of trading to extract yields from this. And then if you believe that I give up with this stock, I don't believe in them anymore, I want to have BTC, right? Or whatever, or ETH, right? And then withdraw funds and you said that, okay, I don't want to take my collateral, I want to take ETH instead of that. And you don't need to go to Binance or any other exchange or whatever. Everything will be managed by us and you will get back ETH at the same dollar value as your collateral. From our point of view, it's very convenient for people. And you can shift funds around the world and assets around the world without even interacting with different financial institutions and have yield while you keep funds inside the Falcon. That's the idea.
Yeah, definitely. That does make a lot of sense. Can you talk a little bit more about the synthetic dollar and what does that mean? How does it work?
Why synthetic? Because we don't print dollars, right? We don't print stable coins or
Yeah,
use one.
like
We have
USD,
one.
like US treasuries bought on the other
Yes,
side.
exactly. We price our position based on our risk management tools and systems and our hedging models. Let's imagine we received from you some mid-quality altcoin and we evaluated the whole market of your altcoin and identified that despite dollar value is 1 million, right? Real and reliable value of this altcoin is less 400,000, right? Which means that we have in our collateral 1 million. In our custody, we have 1 million collateral of your altcoin. And we create synthetic dollars, 400,000 synthetic dollars against this collateral. Why synthetic? Because these dollars, they represent weighted value of your collateral, right? And then you can use it. Because as I said in the previous example, your altcoin can perform differently. It can be liquidated. It can be pumped, but you can easily switch from your synthetic dollars, not only to dollars or to altcoins, but to any other assets that Falcon supports. For example, you can exit to tokenized treasury bills because you want to have some stability, right? It can happen. You give up with this altcoin stuff, you want to have some stable, small yield, and you request from us to withdraw to you because you believe in this. And this is the case. And that's why it's synthetic. It's a form of dollar value representation that can be transferred to any asset.
When people bring in this collateral, what are the different types of collateral can they bring in? Does it have to be US dollars or can it be stocks? Can it be any crypto or what's the limit of that?
But for now, we support tokenized real world assets.
Yes.
It's like tokenized T-bills, treasury bills, but we have a plan to add tokenized stocks. We support crypto, stablecoins, and other crypto assets. And we can create a tailored solutions by users' request to support that assets that we don't support now. And of course, we need to price. In our plan is to add fiat channels for US dollars and other major currencies, and also to debt, let's say bonds and tokenized bonds. This is in our roadmap, and some of these solutions will be launched this year.
Yeah. I was reading somewhere about USDF, which is the USD Falcon Finance's stablecoin, and that it's already 1.2 billion in circulation. So that means there would be a lot of assets backing it. And when you look at it, what type of assets would be making majority of that up?
For now, we have around 1.4 or 1.35 billion in assets backing this. Most of these assets are represented in BTC. I would say I like roughly 75% is in BTC. Around another 15% is stablecoins, and the rest is blue chips such as Solana, Dogecoin, and maybe a few percent is altcoins, like 1%. Yeah, that's how our resource look like for.
That is very cool. I've been running this podcast for 5 years, been in crypto for a very long time, long before that, and always had this type of conversation. I've always been bullish about stablecoins because I've gotten paid in stables and I've been my team members in stablecoins for over 5 years now. And so super bullish because they solve a problem. But the thing is, I always had this conversation with people that, hey, stablecoins, we are still tied to the US dollar, is just an extension of, in a way, because of the US treasuries, and we're still tied. Whereas this is maybe it's my ignorance, the first time I'm coming across a valid, legitimate project of this size where it's backed by crypto because it is liberating in a way. That's how I see it.
We use US dollar because US dollar is a common currency for.
It's not about being fair. That's just the measure.
Yeah.
It's not tied to the TradFi ecosystem. I feel
Yes.
like if the asset backing a stable coin is relying on US Treasury yield, and if anything happens to that yield, then that project's revenue would be drastically affected. It's like putting all your eggs in just the US Treasury basket. So anyway, that's just my view. That's how I saw it. And so I think this is something very well needed. I have some more questions about stable coins. What is something that you know about stable coins that you feel like most people don't know?
Good question, but I think it's a difference, like you said, right? It's fiat-backed stable coins and not fiat-backed stable coins. And
Yes.
for now, we are in that market cycle where a lot of different companies want to launch stable coins, right? And I think it's not about knowing something special about stable coins, but just my overview of the market that we will see much more collateral types for the stable
Yes.
coins. Because, for example, the day before yesterday, some stablecoin was announced, this USDI, right, that is collateralized by hardware, which is used for AI models, right? Also something new, right?
Yes.
Then we know Ethereum, right, that is backed by purely basis trading, right, which is also innovative for its state. Then we have Falcon, which is backed by multiple collateralized assets, which is also different from other types of stablecoin. But all these three types of stablecoin have a name, synthetic dollar. But beyond that, I think we should expect like more categorization because one form of collateral is different from another form, and one utility is different from another utility. That's my belief about the stable coins.
Absolutely. And talking about utility, apart from staking USDF, what are other actions that can be taken? What else can someone do with USDF?
Well, we focus mostly on DeFi markets, let people do some trading and to do some DeFi yield farming strategies, like staked USDF and normal USDF, for example, on Pendo or Morpho or Sensora. This is common DeFi playbook. But ultimately, as I said, I do believe that our market positioning and our utility is to be a solution and a venue where people can farm some overnight yield or some mid or long-term yields for their savings and exit the currencies that they can spend on their needs. This is our positioning. And we don't want to compete with existing stable coins. Tether is already like a payment solution.
That's what I know it for. That's what I use it for.
Exactly. And let users to withdraw Tether from us because it's more convenient to them to spend Tether. And in the future, we will let them to withdraw fiat, to spend fiat if they want, right? But inside us, they can use this USDF to transfer this money among their friends or counterparties because it's just a representation of for Tether if they want to pay, the US dollar if they want to have savings, and US dollar value if they want to interact with fiat currencies or any other assets like coins or stocks or whatever.
And a lot of this makes so much sense because I feel like there is so much liquidity in Bitcoin, or not only Bitcoin, but there are quite a few other tokens as well, that liquidity is just sitting there and that can be unlocked. I can see this as one of the ways that people can do that. How would someone go about doing that? Let's say if I have BTC, for example, and I want to mint some stable coins, can you give me an example of how it would work?
You can go to Falcon Finance website, pass KYC, then deposit your BTC and set how you want to hedge it and mint USDF against your dollar position. I would say it mostly like you sell BTC and have yield on your US dollars value, or you want to have some innovative mint, which means that you set range between liquidation and sell price, and then you mint against this position. Then you click mint, and then you can do whatever you want. You can draw USDF for your needs to transfer it to someone or to somewhere, or use it for some DeFi operations, or you can stake it and then use as USDF for your DeFi operations or transfers. That's how it basically works. And if you want to withdraw your collateral, you just deposit the USDF. That's it.
Fantastic. Very straightforward. Did Falcon get to this stage that it has 1.2 billion or some amount like that circulating? What do you feel has been the key catalyst for the growth of Falcon Finance?
First of all, it is a teamwork. We have a great team. We all work hard and we try to listen to the market feedback and improve our product accordingly. For example, we faced some questions regarding this transparency, regarding risk management stuff, regarding insurance fund. And when this podcast go live, insurance fund and transparency page will be already updated according to people requests. And
Absolutely.
risk management also will be explained more detailed FAQ in the website. We try to understand what clients want and fulfill their requests. I know it's just normal business process. Try to cover their needs. That's it.
That's definitely very important. And as you continue to grow Falcon over the next 2-3 years or Falcon Finance, what do you feel would be like the biggest challenge you will face?
A good question about regarding these challenges. I think the biggest challenge is that we need to find a compliant and proper way to tokenize all these stocks and to increase collateralized number of accepted assets, because there are many currencies, there are many assets that we want to work with. There are many countries, many people, and regulation is different everywhere, especially regarding the stocks things, right? It requires a lot of work, a lot of partnerships, and etc. And I would say this operational thing and this business growth related stuff is the largest challenge for us. But yeah, we have a great team where we manage it.
And what's on the roadmap for Falcon Finance?
As I said, we are working to fiat channels to let people use national currencies to mint Falcon USD. Then we work on accepting tokenized reward assets like stocks, like bonds, etc. And also for next year in our roadmap is to build our own tokenization engine, because it will help us to tokenize and as a result accept many more different reward assets, because we believe there is a future of this. Also improve transparency information and pass more audits with different third-party auditors. Now we have one, and we have a plan to have two auditors, and then to connect to these auditors some chain link on-chain proof of address to streamline, to stream our reserves like on-chain. This is also very another, because we are on the crypto space. We also have a plan to run a decentralized governance process to manage some governance decision on a decentralized manner. This is it.
Fantastic. Completely random question. Where did the name Falcon Finance come from? Did it come from, how Abu Dhabi is called the Falcon economy or something like that? Is it influenced by that or something different?
Oh, the first of all, Falcon is a very fast, smart bird, right? Which can fly and hunt a lot of different animals.
Yeah.
Falcon is people's friend since ages, especially in Middle East, also in Central and some other Far East regions. And based on this impression from this, we feel that Falcon is also very fast and smart, but also people's friends. That's how we identify it. Yeah.
That's very cool. And I have just last one or two questions. Since a lot of other founders also listen to this show, have you got any advice to other founders who work in this space, especially in crypto, blockchain, Web3, AI space?
I don't think that I will say something new, but I think the most important thing for every founder is to find a client, because technology is great, but technology without utility and clients makes no sense. You can
Yeah.
build a beautiful code, but if nobody uses it, it's worth zero. And the second thing, every technology needs to be promoted at the right time, because many things that we see now and that are very bullish now, let's say this token treasuries or these synthetic
Yes.
dollars, everything have been discussed 8 years ago in 2017. And nobody cared about it because it was not the right time.
Yeah.
And in 2017, you should run ICOs to capture this cycle. But in 2025, you need to run something more smart and not vice versa. You need to feel and know that market that you work in.
How long has Falcon Finance been in existence? Is it 2 years?
The idea of Falcon Finance appeared like a year ago,
Wow.
but we launched Falcon on the beta stage, and in February this year, it's half a year ago. It's just 6 months.
Oh, that's amazing. So then you guys have done really well with its growth. Any learnings from your growth story that you'd like to share with other founders?
You should, the only learning story, right? You need to do what you believe in and just ignore everything like expert haters and whatever. If people complain, if you feel that you do the right thing, you should do the right thing.
Fantastic advice. And on that note, my final question is, do you have a ask? Is there anything that you're looking for? Are you looking to raise for Falcon Finance? Are you looking to hire, looking for partnerships or people to build or use USDF in their product or anything else? Feel free to share.
It's a good question, but of course, we are looking for more partners to increase acceptance on Falcon USD,
Yes.
and we would like to be among other assets as one of the solutions for people to use, right? Any partners that have any liquid assets that want to collateralize them, yeah, also welcome.
Fantastic. That's awesome. Thank you, Andrei, so much for your. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you so much for tuning in and listening or watching this episode of the Web3 with Sam Kamani podcast. By now, you know the drill. Leave a comment or share this episode with a friend and leave a review. I would love to hear from you. So that's why my DMs are open. Reach out to me, especially if you are a founder building a product in Web3. Then I would love to hear from you. What are your challenges? Is there anything that I can help you or my community can help you with? Thank you once again and wish you best of luck in building your startup or your project.